Hello everyone, this is Amnesia once again. I actually just finished casting a game, uh, and the sound was all messed up. There was actually no game sound in there, it was just my voice over nothingness for about 40 minutes, so definitely not what you want to watch, of course. So down here in the bottom right, we're going to see OCL's stuntmanmike. Going to be representing Protoss here, and up in the top left, playing for the Terran team is going to be NOM's Nukkuj, and I just casted a PVT between Nukkuj and another player, not stuntmanmike, but Nukkuj's play was pretty solid. The other Protoss just had like great positioning and everything, and it was a really close game. Unfortunately, sound was all messed up. I don't like to really cast games when I know the ending, so I don't want to recast it. So I just picked another replay from the set that Nukkuj sent me. And they're going to be cross spawn, so of course the workers are not going to head straight to their opponent's base. Seeing the gateway coming down, he is scouting after pylon, which is the standard in the matchup. In StarCraft 2 you can tend to be a little bit greedier and not scout until 13, but in Starbow, as in Brood War, if you want to get over there into your opponent's base before they wall off, then you got to scout after pylon. I think the music's going to end up being really loud here again, so I'm going to have to go and turn it down for some reason. And I think it just goes to 100% volume no matter what. Like even though I have it set on like 10% volume, it still plays super loud. Orc is going to cross paths here, and Nukkuj's actually going to scout to the south. And there we go, looks like stuntmanmike getting ready to expand, putting a pylon down there on the low ground. From what I've seen, it's actually not as common to put a pylon on the low ground when you're ready to expand as it was in StarCraft 2, just because warp-ins, if you ever even get warp gate technology, you won't do it till much later. Oh, an SCV getting taken out in the probe here. Total boss chasing that SCV the whole way up into this corner here. I guess the SCV finished building and just finished on the wrong side of the tracks there. Cybernetics core coming down this probe, getting ready to expand a little bit early though. He's still got 200 minerals to go. This probe just too excited to expand, so that means this SCV will scout that the expansion is coming. Pretty much looks like it'll get there right when the Nexus is dropped down. This probe waiting for the Terrans expand down here. Of course, it's not coming just yet. There we go. Nexus is dropped. This SCV gonna fly right on through here, and he's gonna see this as well as the Gateway Cybernetics core right at the top of the ramp. And just a couple of Marines so far. Factory about to finish here for the Terran player. We'll see if he chooses to push out a lot of the times. Ooh, Forge going down, so he's going to get some cannons up, looks like, to help with defense, since you see the Terran player is not expanding very quickly. I'm not sure how this works out versus tanks. If siege mode is available, obviously this cannon's not going to do much other than delay their opponent, but we'll see. Usually I see a much heavier gateway being produced in response to one base Terran, but kind of excited to see how this plays out. We've got Singularity Charge on the way, as well as a couple of Dragoons. Well, one Dragoon right now anyway. As well as the Kaideran Citadel just being started at the main. The Natural obviously not quite finished yet, so it's not going to have a Kaideran Citadel. This Dragoon going to start picking away this SCV, should be able to get it. Can't imagine the SCV lives. Definitely not, now that it's choosing to stay in the base. Spider-Mine research on the way before siege tech, so guess I assume we're gonna see some vultures out pretty quickly then, right? I mean, Spider-Mine research halfway done, still no sign of any vultures coming out. We've got one cannon out there with a Dragoon for defense. He's got a nice little wall off here, so the vulture's not even gonna be able to do a run by. Dragoon is on hold position. I'm not sure if the vultures can squeeze through this little area or not. Push coming out here with 7 Marines, a couple of siege tanks, but no siege mode. Yeah, no siege mode research. I'm not sure if that's what he thought he was researching. But here comes the first vulture, so maybe not. Maybe this vulture's going to join the fight and have spider mines, and it's going to be glorious, and I'm going to look like a fool. Walking past the giant Ursidon, that thing looks so massive and scary. I don't know how, like, these Terran units just walk past it like it's nothing, but that thing's pretty frightening. Ooh, a couple of Dragoons pushing their way out on the map, going to take quite a bit of damage. Singularity Charge just now finishing, so now they can do a little bit more damage, keeping that range advantage, but they are taking a few hits here two of the Dragoons without shields at all. This Dragoon almost losing its life. This one will lose its life. We're down to only 2 Dragoons and a cannon to hold this big push here. Will this game be over this quickly? I surely hope not. Last game was much longer, and I'd feel really bad that I wasted that one on just me blabbering over a motion picture. So tanks, Marines, and Vultures gonna scare these probes out of there. They're gonna have to go back home to mine. It looks like stuntmanmike might just be planning to sacrifice this Nexus. It's taking huge damage. Shield's already lost. This would be a great time for photon overcharge if this player had it, but unfortunately he has to actually use units now. And that's what the Protoss world has been relegated to, actually using units. It's a sad state of affairs. I think on one of the spider mines, so that's kind of nice. These are the old spider mines, so they aren't super hard to use. These tanks, they're picking off so much. This is why you don't usually build so much on the low ground in Starbow. We have an observatory out. Weird choice here to break the siege is to get an observer, but I suppose he's just really worried about these spider mines. Scan going down to see what he's up against. He's going to see absolutely everything. He sees the observatory. He sees 3-gate robo coming out. Nothing being produced from the robotics facility yet, though. This is strictly for observers. Stuntmanmike very afraid to go down the ramp with these spider mines, and nukkuj just taking a huge lead right now. He's got a base up. The command center, the orbital, is actually fully finished in the natural here. He's Maynarding workers down there right now. He's got bunkers set up with Marines inside. He's just going to pull his force home. He's got such a steady lead right now. These Dragoons going to defuse these mines no problem, but looks like... I mean, I think he should at least poke at his opponent, see what he can get done. He's got to do something in response. He's lost so much. But no, he's just going to take a defensive posture. Looks like ion thrusters on the way. These Vultures are going to get really scared here in a second. They're going to have speed and spider mines. Dragoon's just dancing around, making sure this place is clear. I feel like they kind of have PTSD. They're just like paranoid that Marines are going to, or Terran units are going to pop out all over the place. And hopefully they are on the attack move command, so they're going to be able to defuse this mine as they walk past it. There we go. Taking it off, one steady volley. Also walking past it. Okay, these guys know. Giant Ursidon's a pretty scary guy. I remember when the game first came out, I think Total Biscuit was casting it, and they were pretty convinced that this guy was going to attack. That's why they put it at the center of the map, but I know it's just working like destructible debris is. Dragoons dancing, letting the Terran player get into a defensive position before you push in with the Dragoons, not usually gonna work out for you. So he's gonna see the Terran player move the whole way back, it looks like, and just retreat himself. He's being really indecisive, not sure what to do in this position. I'm sure he feels way behind, not sure if he can actually punish the Terran player or not. But the indecisiveness is really gonna make sure that the case is or not. And picking off 2 of the spider mines real quick, the observer paying for itself, I guess, but all these Dragoons getting taken out, the Vultures chasing him down, trying to rope him in. Siege tanks, Marines also getting shots off on the Dragoons, and it's just absolutely a slaughter. Stuntmanmike not doing so well in this game so far. But he is catching up in supply. He's got his natural reestablished, and he can start trying to pick himself back up. Got missile turrets going down now. They know that observers exist. More factories coming out. Going to really start vamping up production here. We've only got 2 Vultures because of that Dragoon push, so that is going to delay any Vulture harassment. But it really, nukkuj at this point just needs to ensure that his opponent isn't taking thirds. That's why he's scanning down here. Looks like Stuntmanmike though looking to take this as his third. It's a little bit further away by ground. It is. I'm not sure why you choose this one over this third, other than it's just your opponent's just not going to scout it. Did nukkuj scout it though? No, he hasn't scouted it. He's just moving out. He's going to try to put pressure on right here. And yeah, these do have siege segments, so that's good. Got Reavers on the way, as well as the, what is it? Plasma charge. For a second I thought I said photon overcharge, but the plasma charge, we got this Reaver sitting back in the back right here. We don't have any warp prisms, so these are going to move slow as can be. They might not even make it to the engagement in time. Scan going down. Vulture's going to move in first. Dragoon's picking up a few Vultures for free. Spider Mine's going down in the front, and Dragoon's just sitting tight. Pretty confident in their ability to take this and siege tank siege up, and that is going to force the Dragoons to retreat a little bit, but they're safely in their natural right now. That Reaver getting a little ambitious there, launching his Scarab at a single Marine, and it doesn't even make the connection. Well, I mean, it would have if the Marine would have stayed alive. These tanks slowly crawling their way up there. Moved about 2 pixels and then siege back up. Missile turret going up. This is a pro level contain right here. We've got missile turret, siege tanks, spider mines. One siege tank getting bold is going to be moving up here next to the missile turret. Not in range. The other siege tanks can't actually support it. But stuntmanmike a little bit afraid nonetheless. He does have some really low dragoons in here. He needs one of the full health ones up there to pick this off. He moves 2 of them, one with hardly any health, to get picked off for free. Spider Mine locks on and takes out the dragoon, no problem. We do have a War Prism on the way now, going to load up both these Reavers. He's going to do Reaver drops in the base. I was going to say he's really going to have to do. He's going to have to do something with these other than park them in his main, that's for sure. Sand going down is going to see the War Prism, so he knows it's on its way over. The Dragoon's going to try to push back the Vultures. Ooh, and one of the Reavers gets picked off as soon as he lands. Nice little drop micro though, still saving the one. And these Dragons get taken off. That was a super quick game. I don't know what to say. Stuntmanmike just got absolutely dominated in that game. So sorry about that. But yeah, really nice contains anyway from nukkuj. Really well played on his part. Stuntmanmike just losing that natural really screwed him from the beginning. But I'll see if I can cast another game a little bit later. This one was a little bit one-sided. So I'll see if I can grab another one from this pack that nukkuj sent me and maybe find a little bit closer game. I mean, the last game was extremely close. I'm really disappointed that I screwed up the audio on that. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.